Hey, I'm Evan Vance. I'm the founder of Onyx, an AI accounting and bookkeeping platform for small businesses. Today's video is going to be a head-to-head between Onyx and QuickBooks, highlighting where they're strong, where they're weak, and ultimately which one is best for you. So we're just going to pretty much get straight into things here. There's not really much else to talk about. It's just me comparing these two accounting platforms. So starting with Onyx, what is Onyx and why did I build it in the first place? So yes, of course, Onyx is a tool I built, full transparency, but the reason I built it was because I've been through every accounting option out there and nothing did exactly what I needed. They were all either, too complicated or just all in all, I had a pretty awful relationship with bookkeeping, where every year I'd either put it off until tax season and just spend days and hours cramming to get everything together, with a bunch of back and forth between my accountant, which just I completely hated, or I'd have someone else on my team manage it and then still end up with a ton of back and forth from my accountant. And obviously there's cost involved in that. Are they doing it accurately? No, they're going to be making mistakes. It kind of just felt like every option required either too much of my time, too much of my mental energy, or both. And as a business owner, I just wanted the problem gone. So I built Onyx to solve exactly that, because the reality is doing your books yourself throughout the year, it's kind of this ongoing administrative, annoying hassle of a task for most people. If you love it, then we're going to get into that. But for me, that was the case, and that's why I built Onyx. So who exactly is Onyx for? It's built for small business owners doing typically anywhere from about $100,000 a year to $1 million to $3 million a year and beyond. So if you want your books handled automatically, so just done for you, 99% done for you without you having to think about it, this is who Onyx was made for. If you're somebody who loves really getting into the nitty-gritty of all your numbers and your accounting and all this, then it's probably not going to be the solution for you, but let me explain how it works. So how does Onyx work? Very simple. So you connect your bank accounts and cards through Plaid. Plaid is the world's leading bank integration software, so it allows your bank to connect to Onyx safely and securely via Plaid. Gigantic companies use Plaid. It's the number one solution for online bank integration. It takes about 60 seconds to connect. Super simple. You can choose exactly which accounts you want to connect. So Onyx immediately pulls your transactions and automatically categorizes about 97% of them using AI. You can also distinguish between personal and business transactions, and you can highlight whether your account is purely business or a mix of personal and business, so it makes sure that everything is being tracked and categorized accordingly. Now, the 5%, 3%, whatever the number is, that it's unsure about, it will flag for your review. It's usually going to be fewer than about 5 transactions in a month. For example, in my business last month, I didn't have to review a single transaction. I went in to check, obviously, to make sure everything was okay, but it sent me an email. It said 0 transactions need your attention, and I didn't have to do a single thing, and my books are reconciled, categorized, and everything works beautifully with an income statement ready to boot. So you confirm these transactions in about 30 seconds a month. That's really it for most months. Again, last month I did literally nothing. Now, what it also does is it surfaces deduction reminders so that you can help reduce your tax burden, reduce your tax bill. So if there are write-offs you might be missing based on your transaction patterns or based on your industry, it flags those for you so you can bring them to your accountant, or so you can add things to Onyx to say, hey, here's some additional things that I have been writing or using my personal card to purchase that, hey, it turns out I can write this off. And it learns every time you confirm a transaction, so it gets smarter over time and asks you fewer questions as the months go on, hence me not having to confirm anything last month for my business. Now, at any point, what you can do, and I already alluded to this, is you can download a CPA-ready annual income statement with one click and hand it directly to your accountant at tax time. Again, this tax cramming thing, so many people do it, leave it to the last minute. You have this back and forth. You need to make sure you're getting everything in time at the end of the year. And this way you don't have to do the manual reconciliation. You don't have to deal with spreadsheets. You don't have to try to remember what this charge from 8 months ago was for, because you set it up once and everything's good to go, right? So in terms of pros and cons, for some of the pros, again, it's fully automated. It connects once, it runs in the background, super easy, super hands-off. About 97% of your categorization is handled automatically. It learns your transaction patterns over time. So again, it gets smarter with time. So as time goes on, there's less and less that you have to do. Usually by the second month, or really the second day, there's not really anything that you have to do. Again, the deduction reminders are built in. There's a one-click annual CPA-ready income statement report. It has everything beautifully categorized in a way that accountants actually love and appreciate. It's designed specifically for business owners, again, who want this minimal involvement. Like, let's just get this done. And if you don't want to pay $300, $500, $800, $1,000 a month for a bookkeeper, this is that beautiful in-between option to save 60 to 90% of your monthly bill that would come from a bookkeeper by just having a little tool that pretty much requires you to do nothing throughout the process for it to work properly, other than just quickly reviewing some stuff. Again, it's 30 seconds to 2 minutes per month once set up, and sometimes 0 seconds. And it works with pretty much all US banks and cards, again, via Plaid. Now, in terms of some of the cons, it is a newer product. It's less established than QuickBooks. QuickBooks does $11 billion a year. I'm a much smaller person than QuickBooks, the company, right, who has been sold to or purchased by Intuit. Now, it's not the right tool if you want really deep accounting features or full control over every tiny little detail. So if you love numbers, if you love accounting, if you really want to go in and like be super customized with every single thing and you find it fun, this tool's probably not going to be for you, right? Because you want that control over every little detail. This is made, again, for people who just want to kind of set and forget more or less. You still have to obviously review it. AI requires some degree of human review, but it's really, really accurate and it learns very well over time. And again, the point of Onyx is that it's hands-off, right? So if you're, again, somebody who wants these really deep, complex accounting features, it's probably not going to be the tool for you. Now, it is best suited for US-based businesses. You can create an account if you are from Canada, but the problem is Canadian banks require too frequent of disconnecting. So we do primarily focus on US-based businesses. And of course, it requires a bank connection, which is not ideal if you prefer manual entry, right? But the idea with a bank connection is that that allows for automatic reconciliation. Everything is automatically reconciled with your bank account, which makes it super easy for you. So from a pricing standpoint, it's $99 a month flat at the moment. Unlimited transactions, unlimited connected accounts, everything's all in there. That's our pricing right now. We are planning on increasing pricing, but that's how it is at the time of me recording this video. Now let's talk about QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is the industry standard for a reason, right? It's been around for decades, it's comprehensive, and your accountant almost certainly knows how to use it. A lot of accountants use it, and banks banks provide QuickBooks exports, right? Obviously, it's very integrated into society. So if you need the full suite of accounting features, all this highly complex stuff, QuickBooks has them, right? So it's very versatile, very highly complex, and helps deal with extremely specific and I guess intricate use cases, right? And so who QuickBooks is actually right for is bookkeepers, accountants, and businesses ultimately with complex accounting needs or a dedicated finance team, right? If you need payroll, deep reporting, large ecosystem of integrations, QuickBooks is built for all of these things, right? So some of the pros, of course, it's the industry standard. Your accountant's familiar with it. It's extremely feature rich. There's payroll, invoicing, tax prep, reporting. Everything's all there in one place for you. So there's also a large ecosystem of integrations. And again, it's good for businesses with complex accounting needs, right? There's strong support and documentation, and of course, there are AI features being added regularly. Now, where it falls short is there's a pretty steep learning curve. Like what I found was, if you want to even just find, look up a QuickBooks tutorial, they're all like 45 minutes, where with Onyx, you can set it up in like 2 minutes, 5 minutes kind of thing. It's really simple to understand. So that's, again, why I made Onyx in such a way. But the steep learning curve, of course, the benefit that comes with that is all of the complexity that you can play around with and customize to your business, right? Hence why accountants tend to use it. They can get really detailed with things. And again, there's a reason there are entire YouTube channels dedicated to teaching QuickBooks, right? It's time consuming to learn, set up, and maintain properly. And it's easy to do things wrong without realizing it as well. So some of the cons are, again, there's a steep learning curve. It is expensive. Plans are, $30 to $120 a month plus, depending on what you're looking for. And that doesn't include a bookkeeper. So either you then need to do the bookkeeping yourself, or you need to pay for a bookkeeper, again, $300, $500, $800 a month plus. So that's where it can be more expensive. If your business is pretty small, though, and you just kind of throw all your stuff with your bank statements to your accountant at the end of the year and they do it, that's totally fine too. And you can just use QuickBooks with your accountant, send them some stuff. But if you're kind of in that in-between part where it'll cost you a lot of money to send all your transactions to your accountant because there are so many and they'll charge you a lot more, and you don't want to have hire a bookkeeper because that'll be 4 or 5, potentially as high as 10 grand a year plus, and you also don't want to do it yourself, again, that's where that Onyx piece comes in. And QuickBooks is truthfully overkill for most small businesses doing pretty straightforward revenue and expenses. Again, who are in that kind of, sub, say $3 million, $5 million a year range. And it's designed for people, again, who understand accounting, not for business owners who just want clean books, right? So a lot of people who have QuickBooks or Xero, these kinds of tools, they tend to just not really use them and leave things until the end of the year and then do that whole cramming thing, right? Again, it's time consuming to set up and maintain properly, and it requires ongoing manual upkeep. But again, it's great for what it does. It starts around $30 a month. But you can, at the end of the day, if you like that complexity, if you want that complexity, it's the better tool out of these two for your specific use case. So in terms of this, head-to-head summary, right? From an ease of use standpoint, Onyx wins, right? There's no learning curve required. That's how it was created. From a time commitment standpoint, Onyx wins as well, 30 seconds, 2 minutes a month kind of thing versus the ongoing manual upkeep or tax time cramming that comes with other tools like QuickBooks and other ones. From a cost standpoint, Onyx is flat and predictable. QuickBooks does climb as you add features. And Onyx is a bookkeeper plus accounting software. QuickBooks, I'm sure they're adding some AI features. They have been adding some AI features as well, but Onyx is really designed to be more of a bookkeeper than, particularly a full accounting suite like QuickBooks. It takes the core, 80-20, the core principles of QuickBooks, the, creating income statements, reconciliation, categorization. It does all that stuff for you as a bookkeeper would. So it's that, again, that bookkeeper QuickBooks kind of bridge tool. And from a tax time experience, Onyx gives you that one-click CPA-ready report. QuickBooks, you can still do that. You just have to do a lot of the manual prep and formatting and this kind of thing. So from a final verdict standpoint, if you want your bookkeeping handled automatically, just so that you can stop thinking about it altogether, Onyx is almost certainly what you're looking for. Whereas if you need full accounting control, complex reporting, or you have a dedicated bookkeeper, QuickBooks is still the industry standard for a reason. So if you want to check out Onyx, if you want to see a live demo, you can just click the link at the top of the description. But otherwise, if QuickBooks seems like the best bet for you, whether you already have it or you're thinking about using it, then by all means go and use QuickBooks. But yeah, that's all for this one. Hope you enjoyed.